Hey, what's up guys? It is I, Mark Yoon, and today I'm bringing another hopefully exciting video. So what I got for you today is a little bit different of a video. Now, I'm not really covering anything specifically, but I did do an AMA or an Ask Me Anything on my Discord channel, link in the description box down below, and also on the community tab of the YouTube channel. And I got some good questions, and I just wanted to kind of answer them in a video, as well as I did on Discord, and maybe elaborate on a few points. So if that kind of video is enjoyable to you and you want to get to know me more or some of the things that I like, feel free to stay. No regular content will be coming back like normally, like next week, but I just wanted to have a little fun holiday after holiday like video to involve some of you guys in the community. So without further ado, let's just jump into it and we'll get started right away. So the first question that we have is from Swift Gambit, and he said, or they said, whoever they are, what is your favorite anime? So I listed, I believe, Dragon Ball, because that was one of the first that I started. I actually started with Fist of the North Star, but Dragon Ball I started watching around like 1980, I think like 7 or 6, something like that. So I've been watching Dragon Ball for like a really long time. So obviously it's going to be one of my mainstays forever. I also said Yu Hakusho, and because Yu Hakusho is goated, let's just keep it real. There's nothing better than Yu Hakusho. And number 3 was Naruto, which may be a little like normie, I guess, but like the appeal for me for Naruto is the emotional appeal that it has, like with the characters and whatnot. Like the music especially always gets me, like whenever I'm watching the show. So yeah, there's a lot of filler, and yeah, it's not perfect, but like it is one of my 3rd favorite anime. But let's get into the next question. This one is from Soul Blaze Wolf. What's your unpopular opinion on any topic? Now I chose a somewhat easy one that you guys have heard before, just because I didn't want to be too divisive in this conversation. But what I said is that Infinite World, or Dragon Ball Z Infinite World, is far superior to Budokai 3. This is not just, this is an opinion that I hold like for real, and like you can't really talk me out of it. I used to have like a different opinion about it, but like the fact that there's open world area aspects, there's a lot of like single player content, they did a lot of money mini game type things in the story mode itself. There's more characters that they added, including like more GT, like GT Vegeta for example, which was like the only game you could play as him for a while. And the capsule system being like way better than Budokai 3 with the condensed capsules, and the removal of Dragon Rush, which is like still one of my least favorite gaming mechanics of all time, even probably more so than Reversal Edge. So I hope that wasn't too divisive, and if you're still here, then we think alike, I guess. But the next question is going to be from Doyle, and they said, what kind of ideal game would you like to see, as well as genre? So this is a little bit harder for me to say ideally. I would like an open world action adventure kind of game with like a character customization at the start, that you create your own character. And I also want it to be a little bit different. I want you at the start to be able to create your adversary too, like your rival or whatever the main bad guy is, just so like it gives you more oomph and just a lot more customization in an open world type setting. Think maybe like Devil May Cry, or even something more simple like The Witcher, something in 3rd person obviously, but I'm a big fan of horror too, so it could be in that genre as well. It doesn't exactly have to be an RPG. I love the Resident Evil series and stuff like that, Evil Within, all that good stuff. So it could be something along the lines of that too, so I hope that helped. Alright, and the next question we have again is from Sir Blaze Wolf. This one is definitely going to be divisive, and a lot of you are probably going to get off of the video right now. I'm sorry. So he said, a game director that you don't like. Now this isn't necessarily don't like, this is more of a game developer that I think is like overrated or kind of annoys me. I think that Harada, like the way he memes himself up, is like way too cringy for me to like ever take him seriously. So whenever he pops up like on stage or in like Twitter or something, I'm just like, all right, here we go. Let's like see where this is going to take us, I guess. And I'm also not like a huge fan of like Kojima's games. I know that's like sacrilege to say in the gaming community, because I'm not like, outside of like Deus Ex, I'm not really like a big stealth game kind of guy, so I never really got too much into the Metal Gear series. Like for example, I still have like Metal Gear 4, Metal Gear 5, and I have never touched them. I just bought them and I don't touch them. I did really enjoy Revengeance though, because it's, I guess, an action game, and Raiden is like my favorite character in the series, so there you go. That is going to get me like kicked out of like the gaming community forever. Dante Toshiro 64 says, what is your favorite color? I have 3 favorite colors that are usually tied. I have like light blue, black, and yellow. Those are my favorite colors. So yeah, that's a simple question. Thanks for asking. Okay, another question from Doyle said, what is an overrated anime to you? Kill la Kill. That kind of like weird, funky stuff that just goes like too far out there, and it's not always from like the same director either. I don't like I actually really loved Gurren Lagann. I don't like Kill la Kill, but the game is really good. Like, even though it has limited characters, I actually really enjoy the game. I just wish the story was presented in more of a less wacky way, but I guess that's like the appeal to it for some people, and if that's why you like it, then like more power to you. We're allowed to all like different stuff. It's just not for me. Doyle also says, what is your favorite fighting style and what character do you think represents that well? It could be from a game, anime, film, comic / manga, etc. And I actually said Shura, which is one of the bonus characters created by the mangaka from Gantz, that was available as a character in Soulcalibur 4. She is a dual katana wielding character who uses Cervantes' style, and I think it lends really well, and I really like the character design and like those type of weapons. So I think Soulcalibur really needs to come back and have like a dual character, katana character again, but that's just me. Doyle also says, which console do you like the most growing up, and what are your top 5 favorite games, as well as honorable mentions if you wish. And then Hannah Kokoro, which is one of my mods, actually also says something similar, so I'm going to show that also. It says, which console generation, in your subjective opinion, had the best lineup? So this is going to be the same question pretty much for me to answer. PS2 is still my favorite console of all time. It has like a vast library of games that are pretty amazing. There's a lot of shovelware, of course, but it's still the older console that I usually go back to and play the most. A lot of my favorite games are on it, so I tend to go back and play it a lot. As far as my top 5 favorite games, like, it changes all the time, but right now currently it is Dragon Ball Z Infinite World. Number 2 is Def Jam Fight for New York. That's always in my top 3. Soulcalibur 3, which is still my favorite Soulcalibur game. Crisis Core Reunion, because I think they did way better than Crisis Core did, and except for like maybe the voice of Zack, which I've actually gotten used to, but it's better in every way, and I actually very, very, very much more enjoy this one than the original. And even though the original is so dear to my heart, it's one of my favorite games of all time, so the Reunion takes the top for that. And then Dante's Inferno, just because I know it's a God of War clone, but like the way the story's presented and like just how epic it is, and the time of my life that I played it, it's just like an epic game, and I still go back and like play that once in a while. Swift Gambit also says, what is your Tekken main? I have 3 Tekken mains. My first main is Kazuya, my second main is Hwarong, and my third main is Lee Chaolan. Who are your favorite Pokemon? This includes the release of the 9th generation, and my Pokemon list never changes from my top 3. It's always going to be Mewtwo, Lucario, and Lapras. So it's just like, it sums me up. I even got like a little Lapras over there. I don't know if you can see down there how far it is, but I have like 5 Mewtwo figures and like Lucario. If I had to give like another one, it would be Lugia. So I don't know, maybe it's just like the similar, I don't know, but that's who I like. So hope that answers your question. Now, this was from the Discord. Now, I did ask a couple questions in the community tab, so hopefully we can cover a few of these as well. By the way, if I didn't get to your comment, guys, it's either because I already screenshotted the comments before I started editing the video, and I will definitely like get you next time. All right, Michael Schmidt says, what do you think as fans we can all do to collectively influence Project Soul to give us the things that we want in the next Soulcalibur game? I said, keep watching Soulcalibur content, liking Soulcalibur tweets, and participating in related polls. Just like showing engagement for the series is going to get them to listen to us. And just letting them know, like showing engagement numbers, playing the game, because they do like Xbox and PlayStation and like Steam, like they all like list the concurrent players. You can find out that information, and then they'll see like who's still playing. And usually like right after a DLC comes out, a few days after, that like plummets. So that's a good way to keep engaging, is just keep playing online. Alright, Crimsonite 2044 says, in a perfect world, what weapon fighting styles would you like to see return as creation exclusive styles? And I said traditional karate or dual katana, which I already mentioned. Traditional karate, just because I think that like a lot of us want to create characters that don't utilize weapons, and some of us did that with Devil Jin, but it didn't work in every instance. And I think that like a traditional form of martial arts would actually lend to just better creations in general. That's just my opinion. Okay, now we have Juniverse said, why do you think Soulcalibur is not as popular as other fighters like Big Brother Tekken? And what do you think we could help to shorten the gap without killing what makes Soulcalibur what it is to you? So that's actually a really good question, and to me it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy when it comes to Soulcalibur and Tekken. Investors are people that might not even be interested in gaming in general, and they're just looking for a return on investment. So when they fund these projects and they're coming up with the budget for Project Soul to make their game, they're using limited time, limited space, limited budget, and Tekken gets way more budget, way more time, has a much bigger team, much more emphasis, and then it shows in the end product, and then people compare the two and think that Tekken is better or gets more players, so then people will keep playing Tekken and play less Soulcalibur, and then it won't show up in as many tournaments because they don't want a lot of similar games. And you can see where this is going. Then the less people play Soulcalibur, the less sales it does, which means that the less investment return that the investors get, and then in the next game that affects their judgment of how to affect the budget, and when it gets a much lower budget again, then that turns out a little worse product. That's literally just what it is. It's all about money, and I don't think it's as niche as people think it is, or else channels like mine wouldn't even exist. I just think that we need to do more as a community to be loud and show them that we still want Soulcalibur, and we can have a world where we have both. So I hope that answered that question. Terrence Sprouse said, do you think Soulcalibur 7 will be on all platforms or current gen consoles such as PS5 and Xbox Series X/X? Yes, I think it will not be on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. It'll only be on current gen consoles, being the PS5 or the Xbox Series X/S, and possibly PC. I don't think it's coming to Nintendo. The last time we had a console, a Nintendo version of a Soulcalibur game was, unless you're counting Legends on Wii, an actual mainline series game. We're talking like Soulcalibur 2. So it goes back pretty far ways that like we haven't had a Nintendo version, and they don't do console exclusive characters anymore. So that might be what it is. I'm actually going to do a full video on that later on with the debacle with the characters for Soulcalibur 2, because the story's actually got a lot bigger of an iceberg than people believe. But, yeah, it's only going to be current gen. Soulcalibur never releases their games on cross-platforms. For example, Soul Blade didn't release on PlayStation 2. Soulcalibur 2 and 3 didn't release on PlayStation 3, except for the HD remake version of Soulcalibur 2, which is a different game. Soulcalibur 4 and 5 are deadlocked to the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, and Soulcalibur 5 has stayed on the PlayStation 4 and will not go to PS5. So this version, you can see, will be a following trend. And I don't know if you guys know this, but the more versions or variations of a game, because people often say, well, they hate money, they're not gonna, I would buy it if it was on Switch or something like that, right? Usually the ports to other consoles are handled by outside teams, which takes away from the development budget, because they'd have to pay those people to be able to port them on those systems. Because if it's especially on, like, let's say Unreal 5, and Unreal 5 isn't on Switch or available for Switch, then, like, that's kind of what happens, right? They're going to have to, like, pay an outside team, and then we're going to have a less product for it, because they're taking away budget money. So what they do is they consolidate and try to make the best product that they can with the budget that they have, with the resources they have on the consoles that they have. I hope that explains anything, but I'm going to go much deeper into that a later video for sure. Alright, and we have, do you think Cal Kestis has a chance of being in a future Soulcalibur game? I believe that is the hero from Jedi Fallen Order, which is free on PlayStation Plus this month, so go grab that if you haven't already. I don't think so, just because of the fact that, like, the last Star Wars game that we had was 4, and that's because it was funded by, like, LucasArts when they owned the rights at the time, and Disney is a lot more picky-choosy when it comes to who gets their characters, and a game like Soulcalibur that only sells about 2 million copies in physical sales is not going to impress Disney enough to allow for cross-promotion of their content and their characters. That's just the sad truth. It all comes back to money. Caliber753 says, have you been playing King of Fighters All-Stars, and if so, did you get any of the characters that you like? I do play King of Fighters All-Stars. I've actually shown some content with the Soulcalibur release. And at the end of this video, actually, I'm probably going to do my summons. So if you want to stay for that, I'll probably just like show the summons that I did. And you can see the characters that I got. So I'm not going to name it right now. So just watch the end of the video and you can see who I got. It's actually pretty short. But yeah, that's that. And that's going to wrap it up, guys. Now, I want to say thank you to everybody who submitted questions in a timely manner. I tried to do this video pretty quickly. It all got a turnaround in like a day. So thank you for submitting questions on the Discord and the YouTube community tab. Again, if you want to join the Discord, we talk about tons of things, not just Soulcalibur. There's tabs separated for everything. There's a ton of good people on there, and it's free, everything like that. So like in the description box below, there's the invite, so you can just join and click the Discord community and see if it's for you.
まんじゅう分けたろか。
俺が片付けてやるぜ。効果、復讐、そんなことはもうどうでもいい。たまにはいいかもな。決まったな。華麗に行くぜ。
覚悟はいいかい。
見せてやれ。とっととかかってこい。
知らぬいまい参上。参ります。なかなかやな。覚悟はいいかい。
かかってこい。経験の差を思い知らせてくれるわ。どうじゃ。もう用はねえだろ。あばよ。
どないや
ー。見せてやろう。極限流の強さを。負
けないわ。
俺の番か。
負けないわ。
ここは俺に任せろ。手品なんかじゃねえ。よーく見ときな。負ける気がしねえ。やるじゃねえか。覚悟しろ。シュッ。一歩。覚悟しろ。行くぞ
ー。秘密は女の魅力を引き立たせる最高のスパイスだわ。分かった？じゃあ行くわよ。
そりゃそりゃそりゃ。俺が片付けてやるぜ。あんたか。行くぞ仲間などいらん。一人で十分だ。俺一人で十分だ。
そこのあなた、私のお父様を知りませんか？
行くぞ見せてやろう。極限流の強さを。
女の子なめんな。うりゃ
やるじゃねえか。
甘く見たようですね。もっと本気で来い。どこだ。
見せてやろう。極限流ラッキーチャンス。俺が片付けてやるぜ。負けるわけにはいかない。 俺の番か。
あんたか。
見せてやれ。
どないしたんや。
負けるわけにはいかない。見せてやれ。さっさと来やがれ。
しょうがねえな。暇つぶしに付き合ってやるよ。ほっとけ。
もらった。
ワイの出番か。
Painful. Oh.
Any and all thoughts are always welcome in the comment section down below, guys. I want to thank you for watching, commenting, and all that other good stuff. And as I always say, I love it. Thank you.
And thank you.